Alright, Asif, you ready?
Yeah, today is September 19th, 2024, and this brand has grew to something that I didn't even imagine.
Rusty on the track.
4 years ago, I was just in my bedroom. I had all hand-me-down products. Like my mom bought me the Cricut when I graduated. I had an old MacBook. I had a camera that my cousin gave to me. Not gonna lie, I'm very grateful for that. Like I'm very appreciative of everything that was given to me because I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't get those things.
My name is King. I also go by Shimo, Vulies. You know, I got a couple different names or whatever people call me by. I did graphic design pretty much for like people online back then when people needed like YouTube banners, profile pictures, whatever. I was telling Hector about it. It caught his attention. And one day we had health class together. We just kind of started chopping it up. We ended up becoming friends. We both had the same type of desire to like do something more than just go to school, get a job type of thing. We had a couple ideas for stuff we wanted to do. One of them was gonna be like a little sneaker YouTube page back when that was popping. And eventually we ended up coming up with 30 days, and pretty much from there everything kind of took off.
The idea of creating a clothing brand was way before I even got all the equipment. The first thought was just, what am I gonna call this? So I came up with Way. We're not even gonna talk about that because that's out of the picture. Like, if you know, you know. I was talking to my friend King. I met him like in 8th grade, bro. We've been friends since. Like we've been locked in. During COVID, I realized I needed a new name. I was on FaceTime with my old friend and King was there as well. So all three of us were talking and we came up with the name 30 Days. If there's something that you really want to do and you stay consistent for 30 to 60 days, it becomes more of a habit, bro. And I use the number 304 because it's an angel number. That means to stay consistent and to eliminate all laziness. My birthday is also on the 30th of November, which has 30 days. So I guess that coincides with it. And that's why I called this brand 30 Days.
I was making music for a little bit. Like I just started out making music back in 2018. And at the time, I was getting into recording, mostly just from watching like YouTube videos and such. Me, Hector, and Sauce or Dylan, we were hanging out in school and stuff for like about a year before that. Pretty much just hanging in the lobby, talking about ideas.
Hey guys, I'm Dylan. I'm the artist here behind 30 Days. My purpose within it is to also be like the flex. I want to make the clothes. I want to help take the pictures, also do the videos. I obviously want to make the beats and also help produce. And that's kind of my shtick, my niche, you know? That's kind of what it is I want to do.
One day Dylan mentioned to me that he wanted to like start recording music, and I was like, okay, cool, y'all could come over, we could try to record it. And that was his first time recording, my first time recording, Asif's first time recording.
There was a kid in my chemistry class back in high school. He walked up to me and he showed me this beat he was trying to rap on. And he was like throwing a couple bars and stuff like that. Now, it was cool. I was like, let me try. So I went home, I found some beats that I liked, and I tried rapping. And let me tell you, it was not good at all. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. It was like dancing for the first time, and like it was no rhythm, nothing, none of that. But with that being said, like I still made the music, I still tried and everything like that.
After COVID, I started this new job with Dylan, and that's where Dylan and I like really grew our relationship. Like we were really, really close in high school, but I feel like after high school is where we got even closer. And this job, like that really started it.
So I met King. He was in my 7th grade class. First day I walked in, I didn't even know anybody. I just saw him sitting there and stuff like that. He was playing games on his phone, so I just started chatting it up with him. And over time, we just started becoming friends. We had more interest than I really thought we did. We both liked the same games, same anime and stuff like that. It was really cool. Had no idea coming down the line that this man was gonna be making music, making beats at all.
The first person I met was Dylan, like way back, bro. We used to play Foursquare at recess at Stroudsburg, bro. Niggas got competitive with that shit, bro, but we used to cook.
And meeting Hector, aka Asif. I met him in 8th grade in my chem class, and we really didn't talk much. We really didn't have much in common, I didn't think either. But over time, we started like seeing each other more in the hallways, having more conversation, and then what led to another, here I am now, supporting his brand. I think it's nice, and I think it's awesome.
We started out like real janky. It was literally like a blue snowball mic on a stool on some shoe boxes in the corner of my office, bro. We worked with what we had. Eventually, you know, we started getting more serious with it. We've upgraded equipment. We would either record at my house over there, or I would bring the stuff over and we'd record at Hector's crib. We eventually set up like a little booth where they could use like GarageBand or BandLab if I brought my laptop, because I couldn't bring my whole ass desktop computer over here. That's kind of crazy.
In the middle of my high school career, I dropped an EP called Lover's Comet with Shimo and Hector. And it ended up being really bad. Like, it was not received at all. Like, we got made fun of really bad for that. At least I got the brunt of that. My now really close friend, shout out to Bash, he hit me up on Snapchat and was like, yo, this shit is ass. I was just like, oh, okay, like, I'm glad you took a listen. And he was like, I'm gonna diss you. I was really like just shocked overall, and I was like, okay, I can't wait to hear it. I was on the phone with King. He sent the diss, and he was like, it's here, and I want you to diss back. We were listening to it, and I didn't even know if I could even rap back. That's how scared I was at first. Because this is my first time ever going into the music career, and my first time getting dissed. So of course, I didn't even know what to say. So we all got together. We had like, I think like 4 or 5 hours to do this. We made the song. Right before we were getting ready to drop the song, King mentioned we had no cover art. So he took a piece of paper, wrote Bash's name, but took the B out and put the T, and put it on a small office trash can, and we took a picture of it. It was called Trash. And that was it. After that, me and him became great friends, and me and him now make the greatest music, in my opinion, right now ever.
After we came up with the name, you obviously need a logo. I went to Snapchat and just started drawing a bunch of different things, and when I finally came up with the logo, I sent it to King, and we were like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one right there.
Even with the clothing, like, we just worked with what we had. Like, we used to go to just to Asif's crib and just make stuff like in the room and all that, like in the little office space with my little brother and stuff. Just the Cricut and iron, some cloth, mad shirts, and mad vinyl.
I started looking up YouTube videos on how to use the Cricut, because it got to a point where I had everything I need, but I wasn't doing anything. And once I started doing it, bro, I fell in love. And no one could tell me anything, bro. I literally fell in love with just making clothes. The first drop was a huge success in my eyes. We made 100% profit. I did a whole side project, used that money towards the product. Me, King, and his brother Rez were in my little bedroom office space making these by hand, and we made probably 20 to 30 shirts. Everything sold, bro. It was fire, and that was just a huge success. It definitely drove me to want to continue the brand. People were showing love, and that's just something that I didn't expect. I really appreciated that. It definitely motivated me.
So we got the website set up on Universe. We started taking orders. The entire first drop was done at his house. We were just printing everything there. We did like 20 plus shirts in a day. We hand delivered a couple orders, and that's pretty much when we really knew that this clothing, this clothing shit is the move. Just the feeling of knowing that you can make something and other people want it. At the same time, you're being like self-fulfilled is just, I don't know, it's an unmatched feeling.
I was so motivated, and I was just ready to on to the next, you know what I'm saying? Next drop. About a month later, I did my second drop, and guess what? It flopped. All that motivation, gone. It still didn't stop me, because I was so passionate. I didn't do a third drop for like months after. The second drop was in February, and the third drop, I think it was Halloween. And that's when Kelvin and I really rekindled. We met in high school. He got into photography, so he helped me take pictures for that drop.
What's going on, guys? For those who don't know who I am, my name is Kelvin, and I'm the media guy for 30 Days. Any of the fancy videos that you see on our Instagram comes from me. Before I even picked up a camera and started doing all this media stuff, I just really wanted to be an athletic trainer and help people, on the field. Being an athlete was like the #1 gateway to just become an athletic trainer. The thought of working for someone else bothered me, and like I would come home every night and in all honesty I would cry. It really hurt me. Like I never wanted to do these things to have money in my pocket, but at the end of the day that's like the reality of life. You gotta work for what you want so that you don't have to work later in life. And I would just sit at home like I can't do this anymore. What am I supposed to accomplish if I'm just working these jobs that I don't even like or they're not making me happy? I would just watch like cinematic videos of people making short films and people do it for a living. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, these people are doing what they love. Nothing's really getting in the way. Why can't I do it? Working these jobs like made me think like I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. But at the end of the day, are you happy? And the answer was never happy. I just wanted to record all day, take pictures, make my money that way, and enjoy the process while it's slow so that 10 years from now, I'm on the come up, man.
I realized that, I'm talented, and I didn't realize that myself. Sometimes it takes someone else to say it to realize how talented you are. Hearing it from other people is what really drove me. I was in college, and when I showed people, they were like, yo, bro, this stuff is fire. Like, you need to continue. Like, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what really, like, motivated me. And I went to this one concert. I think it was a Lil Sky's concert. And at the end of the concert, Sprite Lee, which is one of like Lil Sky's best friends, he was there like talking to people. And I went up to him and I talked about my hat. When I showed him the hat, he was like, yo, that's fire. I'm gonna rock this for sure.
I'm gonna rock this on fire too.
I just gave it to him. I posted it. He reposted it on his story. That put a huge smile on my face. I was so hyped. That really drove it, bro.
On March 6th, 2020, Eternal Atake dropped. And around that time is actually when I met Asif. He was a little quiet, so like it was kind of hard to talk to him or whatever. But we spoke, and then he started talking about like how he wanted to, pursue this clothing brand of his.
After realizing college wasn't really for me, I moved back in with my dad. And that's when I tried personal training. I realized that wasn't really for me either.
There would be some nights where I would get home from the shitty job and it would be like 11 o'clock and Asif would hit me up talking about, hey, do you have time for a quick photo shoot? We would probably be shooting till like 12:30 in the morning, and it was honestly probably one of the best memories I got.
So I got a job, and with that, I started using the money to continue the brand. And once I started working on the brand more, I started reaching out to other people. Jock, for example, I wouldn't have met him if I didn't reach out to him for a photo shoot. That's someone that I didn't really think that I was gonna get that close with, but look at where we are now. And then with him, I met Jamai. I did a photo shoot with him too. We all grew very close because we had the same mentality to pursue something bigger in life. They helped change my mindset when I saw how motivated and willing they were to live out their dreams.
I did a lot of my music on SoundCloud. A lot of people were like, okay, yeah, your music is really good, but when is it gonna be on all platforms? I was like, it should be there soon, but financially, I just wasn't there, so SoundCloud was the only place to go, and I was getting some decent streams. They weren't like crazy numbers, but I think at the time it was enough for me to be happy and stuff like that. At least people were out there actively listening.
Yo, shout out to Dylan. He really introduced me to Tiff and Isaiah. He makes music, so he threw some listening parties, and Tiff was there. I met her there, and then Isaiah came to a different one. I met him there.
Hi, my name is Tiffany. Some people call me Spliff or Spliffy. I am a designer, artist, and I sew. I do cover arts, custom clothes, and custom designs for 30 days. Art has always been a huge part of my life. Ever since I could remember, I was doing art, drawing, any types of arts and crafts. I was told I had a talent. I kind of stuck with it. All throughout high school, I was always in art class, looking forward to it every year. It was just kind of my escape, in a way.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Isaiah, known as 304 Zay. My part in this company is content creation. I've always had a deep passion for creating videos and having the idea of just living the art of creation, more about the gaming, the funny skits, and more about having people laugh and enjoy that.
Hey, you want a t-shirt? No? Fuck you.
Why video games? Because I'm a competitive person. I always like sports. With me being skinny, it was always my downfall. I could be better than you, I could be faster than you, I can jump higher than you, but you could just body me midair and motherfucker, I'm falling down to the ground. You just get bitch made. When it came to games, it didn't matter your size, it didn't matter who you were, it didn't matter your age, you just had to be good. So when I was better than all these people at this young age and grown ass people, you fucking suck, you're ass, and 1v1 me. just shit on him, bro, and he's still talking shit. That's why you're mad. You just got beat by someone younger than your son right now, bro. Like, shit was fun.
I actually met King through art class. I moved here in 8th grade, and he was in my art class pretty much every other year. We grew very close, obviously. I kind of knew everyone else through him, but I wasn't very close until he moved away. Dylan actually invited me to one of his listening parties, and I was like, why not give him a listen? I did a few cover arts for him, so I felt comfortable. And that's when I met Asif. I started hanging around them more. I met Isaiah, met Calvin. Very nice people. I love them.
I moved out to Florida in 2021. So it was just a little bit after we got started with everything, which kind of sucked because everyone who came to me to record over here didn't have nowhere to record. And I couldn't really be there with everyone as stuff is starting to progress a lot more. I actually went over there for school because I was in a recording arts program.
Coming from recording in King's room in like the corner of it and Asif's little office space he had in his house, it was really fun. It was a really good time, honestly, in my opinion. But unfortunately, during that time, they also moved. King went to college and Asif moved to Philly, so I really had no like designated spot to record. So I ended up recording in my car for a long time. Like it was just my phone at one point, and that's what I would do for like 2 to 3 years. It would just be constant music coming from the car, and it would sound pretty good. But I knew at some point the sound had to get better.
Dylan and I met at the same job, and it took a while for us to like really be friends, but when we finally did, we clicked, and then he introduced me to Hector, and then Hector, and so on. And ever since then, we just started growing as a good friend group.
Zay, bro, I ain't gonna lie for Zay. One day I just pulled up to Asif's script and that nigga was just there. But I was like, hey, fuck it, he cool peoples and shit. He usually like, you know, brings the energy. Shout out to my boy.
Always watching everybody start in their small areas and how they came up to be. I've noticed he always works so hard on his personal brand, and just this type of dedication always inspired me. Doing something different, having that money go towards a business is honestly something that not a lot of our age people do. And it encouraged me to hop on the band and just work as a team and just go from there.
I wanted to integrate my love with art, with fashion. So I started doing pieces for myself, like hoodies with different medias like bleach and paint. I started hand sewing myself, made different pairs of jeans, shirts. Then I started to get compliments on them. Like, hey, where'd you get this? I made myself. It felt really good to say, honestly. So I started making pieces for other people, Dylan being one of them. Seeing the light in people's faces whenever I show them a new piece or cover art that I made really makes me happy.
I wanted to be a bunch of things. Like as a kid, I had like the dedication of wanting to be something. Like a surgeon, the freaking people who go inside brains and shit. I have a real steady hand, but when I'm nervous, shake like a bitch, bro. That passion came from when I was a lot younger, of just playing games and watching a lot of people who were good at the same games as me, just doing different things that wasn't just your normal things that you would do on a typical day-to-day basis. So that type of idea always grew along with me, and I wanted to always do things different, but my way.
Art has always been my escape, and honestly, I could never imagine pursuing a career in it if it weren't for the passionate and creative people I have around me.
So after I met everybody, we started hanging out more as a group, and that's when I really realized that these people are people that I want to be friends with forever. It's people that you didn't think you were ever going to meet, but once you meet them, you know, you want to be friends with them forever, and that's something you don't plan, but it happens, and everything happens for a reason, and you can't deny it.
I come from a single household to where my mom was taking care of it, literally everything. So at a very young age, I had to mature and get everything on my own. And learning from that teach me very valuable lessons of who to hang around. So when I started hanging out with Asif and Dylan, Kelvin and Tiff, it showed me personality traits of my own. So it made me feel more confident and comfortable with growing with the team.
3 years has passed now, and I've met so many people along this journey, getting closer with King, getting closer with Dylan, getting close with Bash. We would all just chill at Asif's house. It was just all friends, having a good time, hanging out, and hopefully pursuing this business as a whole.
I didn't even think Isaiah was ever gonna give me the call and be like, yo, what are you doing this day? I wanna go show this office space with Asif and you wanna come. I just ended up going, and I saw this place and we talked about it.
At the time I was getting some mail, and I noticed like for rent, so I was just like, let me just see what's up. I'm a curious person. She let me inside, we talked. She just wanted to have renters out, and I talked to Asif and Dylan because I've always seen them working inside their garage or inside his own home office or his own car. It would just be in the most inconvenient areas, but they would make sure they get their job done at the end of the day.
Once we, grew a stronger bond, the opportunity for the office space, that came up, and I'm giving all the credit to Isaiah because he's the one that really found the space. And once that came up, brought everybody together, and, we talked about it. And we actually made it happen, which is something that I'm so, grateful for.
We all dedicated, we all put the money forth, and we made sure it happened. And ever since then, it grew more fire inside of me to make sure to pursue and not to give up on something so important.
Once we got the office, I would say the game definitely changed because we finally have a set place to work rather than who's free, whose house can we go to type of thing. We're all able to just, pull up to the office on our own time, get whatever we have to get done.
I think that we are really going to benefit from this place and make a lot of good things happen.
Yeah, it was a pretty big jump from where we started on that fucking stool and shoe boxes.
Once the idea of the office was brought up to me, there was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to be involved.
At the end of the day, this studio is a blessing. I genuinely can't wait to see where this goes.
One thing I want to say is art is subjective. Art comes in many shapes and sizes and forms. Do whatever it is that makes you and you happy. Because at the end of the day, you are your own judge. What everybody else says is really undermining. At the end of the day, your criticism matters to you the most. So do it. Make that song, write that poem, write that book. Do whatever it is that makes you happy.